Hey YouTube, it's Kari, iSydekick, and today we're playing Team Deathmatch on Detroit. Got a pretty similar gameplay as like a lot of my other gameplays, so sorry about that. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. Today what I want to talk about is how I think that even if you are not a Christian, that Christian attributes are a good thing to have, and I want to talk a little bit about Christianity. Not trying to convert anybody here. Like, if you want to become a Christian, that's great. If you don't want to be a Christian, you know, that's your own choice. I've said before that I am a Christian, but I mainly want to talk about why I think that Christian traits are a good thing to have even if you are not a Christian. The main reason I want to talk about this is because this is something that me and my boyfriend had fought a lot about, was that he wasn't a Christian and I was, and he didn't really understand like why I wanted to be that way. He didn't see any benefit of being a Christian, and he saw a lot of like not benefits, I guess, to being a Christian. He thought it was a very robotic way of living. And the one thing I felt like is, even if you don't want to be a Christian because you don't want to believe that there is a higher power, or you don't know which one to believe in, or something along those lines, just straightforward Christianity teaches good values, and I think that there are values that are good to teach to children. And I think that even if you don't want to teach them to fear, something that you can't see, you should teach them just good human values. So that's what I want to talk about. Now, not all, Christian values can you relate to, I guess, being this way, but a lot of them you can. And a lot of them would start with like the 10 Commandments, like obviously not murder. That's kind of a good thing to not do, is to not kill other people. And so, to me, I don't see why teaching people that is a bad thing, but yet there's a lot of people that act like Christianity is just completely nonsense, no good values, but, that one's pretty much a given. Another thing, thou shalt not steal. Well, the only time I could ever see agreeing with theft would be if you were starving and you had to steal something to, support yourself. Like, it's still wrong, but I would get it. But, theft is wrong because it's taking something that someone else worked for. Now, I think everybody steals virtual products like music and stuff. And, man, I feel like such a hypocrite saying, oh, you shouldn't steal. But if you really think about it, it's wrong. And I don't have to talk about that one either. And then, you shouldn't adulter, shouldn't cheat. I guess that kind of depends on your own moral value, but I think that most people believe, except for, I know there's like specific religions that don't, but most general just people believe that people should be with one person and not with multiple partners. And so if you're with one person, especially if you're married, even if you're not married though, if you're just, with one person, you shouldn't be sleeping around on them and cheating on them. Another good value that Christianity teaches. And then even like some of the things like thou shalt not covet, that is still a good value, because that value is that you shouldn't want. And it's hard to explain. It's like I get it in my head, but I can't put the words in my mouth that I'm trying to like explain. But wants aren't really a good thing. Like, everybody has wants, everybody wishes that they had more, but wanting is not a good feeling. When you want something, it's kind of like a loss in a way. It's like an emptiness, and that's not something that you should feel. So, I don't know. I wish I could explain it better, but it's not a good thing. So, another thing, now this goes more with Christianity, but you should fear something. So, it says that you should honor your mother and your father in the 10 Commandments, and you should because, well, they brought you into this world, and you should be respectful to your parents. Even if you don't like your parents, I mean, I don't really like my parents, but I still try to be respectful. I mean, you should respect everybody, but your parents, you should definitely respect them, but you should also fear your parents, because if you fear your parents, it means most likely that they discipline you, and discipline, while it kind of sucks when it's happening, and if it's a punishment, it feels like a punishment because it is, it does teach good values. Some of the worst people, like the people that act the worst, are generally the kids that are spoiled, and that's kind of why somewhere in the Bible it says like spare the rod, spoil the child, something like that. I don't know the exact verse, but basically what it's saying is if you don't discipline your children, that they're going to end up being spoiled brats, and they will. I have known so many people where their parents have not disciplined them in any way, shape, or form, especially not physically. Spankings are a good thing. Spankings definitely teach kids right from wrong, but even if they don't do that, maybe they don't get grounded, but they don't have any kind of punishment. Those are the kids that they think they can get away with everything. They think they can like buy their way out of something. Like, discipline, while it sucks, it's so very necessary. It teaches you to, it teaches you right from wrong. And basically, that's what I'm trying to get down to, is that Christianity pretty much teaches right from wrong, even if you don't want to believe, like, oh, there's, a higher power, and if I don't do this, this will happen, or if I do this, this will happen. If you don't want to believe that, it just straight up teaches right from wrong. And so, I don't know, I just don't understand the people that are so against teaching Christianity at all, because it's not like it's a bad thing, at least in my opinion. It teaches that you should always put other people before yourself, and I truly do think that you should always, and I've said this in a couple videos now, because it's something that, I'm trying to get better at with myself. I don't know, it's just something that I really want to work on, is that, you should be selfless, you should have a heart for everybody, and that's what, this teaches. It teaches that you're not the most important person in the world, you're not the center of the universe, that other people mean things, and that you should be nice to them and respectful, and there's just not enough love in the world, there's just not enough people that care. And I think that if more people would just kind of take these attributes, even if they don't want to believe, that the world could be a better place. There wouldn't be, so much hatred, and I think like crime would go down, because crime is generally selfish. Usually when someone commits a crime, they're not thinking about like, oh, I'm gonna burglarize this house, I'm gonna steal these people like their nice TV or like something like that, or I'm gonna take this person's car. Well, someone else worked for that, and like that affects them. And whenever people are doing this, they're just not thinking about other people's feelings. And I don't know, I don't get why Christianity has such a negative stigmatism. And like I've said, like I am a Christian, and it kind of bothers me that I feel like I actually feel like there are more non-Christians in the world than Christians. And even though I'm not like a hardcore Christian, it bothers me to feel like I'm hated, and that I can't straight up talk about it at all, because other people just act like, oh my gosh, like you're a Christian, you're so stupid, how can you believe in something you can't see, if you can prove it to me, like, all right, well, that's great, I'm not gonna try, because I don't know, I don't want to, but I still think the values behind it are good. So if you're fighting with someone that maybe doesn't have the same values as you, well, then there you go, you can kind of maybe bring some of this stuff up and be like, well, at least I have good values. So sorry this video was all over the place. I hope you guys liked the gameplay. Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.